I'd like to call to order the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners. Roll call, please.
Jebin Singh.
Here.
McGuire is running a little bit behind. McMurtry.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Moran is excused. Zhang.
Here.
And Ortega.
Aye. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Then acknowledgement, Commissioner Jean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land since time immemorial. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We are standing on the ancestral lands of the Dakota people. We want to acknowledge the Ojibwe, the Ho-Chunk, and the other nations of people who also call this place home. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the treaties made by the tribal nations that entitle non-native people to live and work on traditional native lands. Consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda of November 18th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Hearing no discussion, roll call.
Zhang.
Aye.
Jebin Singh.
Aye.
McGuire is running a little bit behind. McMurtry.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Moran is excused. And Ortega.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes of November 4th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Seeing no discussion, roll call, please.
Zhang.
Aye.
Jebin Singh.
Aye.
McGuire is running a little bit behind. McMurtry.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Moran is excused. Ortega.
Aye. We have a proclamation for National Veterans and Military Families Month. Commissioner Jebin Singh.
Anybody who's here can find me. Wonderful. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Today we're going to be honoring our national veterans and military families with a proclamation. The National Veterans and Military Families Month was established in 1996, recognizes that military service is not carried by service members and veterans alone, but shared by spouses, children, parents, and caregivers who often endure long separations, frequent relocations, and major life disruptions to support that service. Military families embody strength, resilience, and courage, and the well-being of military families directly strengthens national defense, community stability, and the collective health and safety of families across the nation. Ramsey County is home to over 22,000 veterans. In addition to service members and military families whose experiences, leadership, public service, and continued civic engagement make meaningful contributions to our communities every single day. And I'd also like to recognize that so many of these veteran families, I will say, also come from our Native American communities, our immigrant communities, and it's such a wonderful testament to the variety and diversity of folks within our county who have served our nation. No single organization can do this work alone. Support for veterans and military families is sustained through partnerships across government, community nonprofits, veteran service organizations, local employers, volunteers, and Ramsey County departments working together throughout the year. This proclamation reaffirms Ramsey County's commitment to veterans and military families, elevating gratitude into action by ensuring access to benefits, care, and opportunity, and calls on residents and partners to join in recognizing their service, sacrifice, and enduring contributions to this county and the nation. And who will be receiving this proclamation? Yes. And I'll go ahead and read this proclamation. Whereas throughout the nation's history, members of the United States Armed Forces have defended freedom with courage, honor, and selfless service. And whereas each veteran and military family represents a link in a chain of honor that stretches back to the nation's founding days, unwavering in their devotion to their loved ones who served in uniform, with this month honoring all military and veteran families for their service and sacrifice, and answering the nation's call to duty and recognizing a debt of gratitude that can never be fully repaid. And whereas the month of November is designated as National Veterans and Military Families Month, a time to recognize and honor the contributions of the men and women who have served in uniform and to express gratitude to the families who stand beside them. And whereas Ramsey County is home to thousands of veterans, service members, and military families who enrich communities through leadership, dedication, and continued public service. And whereas many Ramsey County employees are veterans or military family members who bring unique perspective, skills, and deep commitment to public service that strengthens the workforce and advances the county's mission to serve residents with integrity and compassion. And whereas Ramsey County Veterans Services, in partnership with local, state, and federal agencies, connect veterans and their families to benefits, care, and opportunities, including VA healthcare, housing, education, employment, and community supports. And whereas community partnerships across Ramsey County play an essential role in ensuring that no veteran or military family faces challenges alone. And whereas Ramsey County affirms its commitment to support and uplift veterans and military families of all backgrounds through equity, opportunity, and compassion. And now, therefore, it be proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners hereby declares November 2025 as National Veterans and Military Families Month in Ramsey County, Minnesota, and encourages all residents, organizations, and community partners to join in expressing appreciation to veterans, service members, and their families, and to recognize their enduring contributions to the county, state, and nation.
So I've invited some of our community partners to be a part of this proclamation because today's proclamation really reflects our power of partnership. So I wanted to invite a few folks, and I'll let them introduce themselves, but I've asked two of them to share a couple words. So I'll go ahead with you, Snap.
Thank you, Christina. My name is Snap Leitner from the West 7th Street Boys Club. I'm here to tell you about the West 7th Street Boys Club. It was started in 1985 by Nick Mancini, Dennis Denning, and myself. But first, I would like to introduce two of our members, Tom Campion being the first one here. Several years back, Tom started Safe Summer Nights Out in St. Paul. We're at a different playground every Thursday night with police and fire and, food and everything. It's a picnic, And let's see, what do we serve? We serve hamburgers, hot dogs, pop water, and it's a picnic. So we also do Halloween, and not this Halloween. It was kind of rainy, but we did do Halloween at the Arlington. Last year, we served 2,500 people at that event. So this is Tommy Campion right here. Thank you, Tommy. Next, Paul Weinberg. Paul has been with us, I think, 4 years now, and he doesn't miss an event. On our Safe Summer Nights Out, he makes the best hamburgers, hot dogs, and he is also in charge of putting together our 350 bikes that we give to military families at the XL Center every year, and it's quite an event. You know, we have games, bagpipes, all the mascots from the whole state, and the kids don't know, the military kids do not know they're getting a bike. And so the parents are notified, so they bring something. And the bikes are all behind a curtain down in the basement at the Excel Center. But before I forget, Paul, how long does it take to put one bike together? These guys got it down. 12 minutes to put a bike together, and we put together 350 of them. So anyways, let's see, where was it? We're putting the bikes together. And like I say, Paul's in charge this year. And right now, we do the holidays. Right now, we're in full swing for Thanksgiving. Next week, we'll be shopping groceries for 46 families. And by the way, Tommy supplies all the turkeys for those families. And this is for Thanksgiving. Then we do Christmas. We also do meals, gift cards, toys, you know, Christmas trees. We have over 200 members, men and women, and they not only donate their money and time, they also deliver, you know, and we do something at one of the stores, like we'll do shopping for 45 people, and I don't want to say we have it down, but from the time, and we get everything you can imagine so from the time it starts until the time we check out, it takes us 45 minutes to do shopping for 45 people. And then the military people will pick up a lot of their stuff, and we'll deliver a lot of stuff. So I think this year for the VA, we've already given away 20 gift cards to them, and they're on the list for 20 meals. And for Kelly Wilkinson in the Air Force, she's on for 7 meals, and we've already given them like $2,500 in gift cards. So it keeps us busy. So thank you very much for the award. And Paul, did you take a bow? All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Gary Carlberg. I'm the 4th District VFW Vice Commander, and I'm also the White Bear Lake VFW Commander. The 4th District has most of our posts, our 9 posts, are in the Ramsey County area. And so myself, I have, after 36 years of being in the Army Reserve National Guard, I was deployed to the Middle East. I had 4 deployments, and then I retired, and I was working in the Pentagon, and then I got retiree recall and sent to Afghanistan again. Can you imagine how thrilled my wife was? So, for those not aware of one of our veterans in military families and their contributions, the 4-star General Paul Nakasone is from White Bear Lake. And he was in command of Cyber Command, and I managed $2.5 billion of his in the Pentagon to do rapid acquisition, because cyber things change like monthly, and so you need to move quicker than the standard DoD stuff. So anyway, I got to know him, and so I invited him to speak on Memorial Day, and I told him, you know, sir, it's really cool that you're a 4-star general and helped keep our elections secure from international, because there was stuff going on. And for those that don't know it, DoD has offensive capability to melt a computer on the other side of the world. Not literally melt it, but do interesting things. So it's not just defense when you come to military. So it's pretty cool things they do. So anyway, but I told General Nakasone, we are really proud of you being a 4-star general from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. But in White Bear Lake, it's your father that's the real hero. Bud Nakasone, when he was a kid, watched Hawaii get bombed. Grew up, and during a period of time, very embarrassing in American history, when we put Japanese Americans in basically POW camps because they didn't look right. What? but we didn't put Germans in POW camps, okay? A little confused, but anyway, Paul Nakasone volunteered at a time when the American was not being appropriate, not to join the army, and he became an interpreter for the Nisi that kind of helped figure out some of the code that the Japanese were using. And then he was an interpreter during the occupation that helped the transition. He went on to retire as a colonel in the intel forces, but then also was a White Bear Lake history teacher in high school and college. So Paul, as a four-star general, he was thrilled that we actually were honoring his father more than him. And so that's pretty cool. But anyway, according to the Minnesota Military Veterans Museum, there are 19 Medal of Honor winners from Ramsey County. 19, that's the highest award you can get in the military. Now, every Ramsey County community has a list of their veterans that serve. And in White Bear Lake alone, not a real big city, there are 950 veterans in that community. So a very patriotic city and county that we are living in. With the great leadership training military provides, it's not surprising to see veterans in leadership roles. Just last week when George and I went to a Veterans Day ceremony at Boston Scientific, the VP in charge was a veteran, an Air Force veteran. An example of veterans making a difference in the community after retirement and coming back to their own hometowns. In White Bear Lake, the VFW, my American Legion partners there and the community joined together to clean veterans' headstones, to dig them out and remove the moss before Memorial Day, and that's an annual event we do. We also need to recognize the contributions and sacrifices families have made as their loved ones are gone for extended periods or in combat. They work hard to keep the family together, moving forward. And of course, the first week they deploy is when that dishwasher or garage door opener breaks, and now what do you do? So the challenges of the families is not insignificant. Now I'd like to, we also need to recognize that there are numerous indigenous Native American people that are part of veterans. There's a huge, if you take a look at the percentage of ethnic group and those served, they actually are the highest percentage in Minnesota. So the next step I'd like to do is highlight how the collaboration between community organizations in Ramsey County strengthens and supports our veterans. In our community, we just received a presentation on PTSD and learned how that changes the brain. What? It changes the brain. And of course, veterans go through that trauma, but there are others like emergency responders, victims of rape, and other type of violence. So PTSD is not just veterans, but let's face it, while not called PTSD, that type of trauma has started with the first war that mankind. We are really good at killing each other, you know. And so, unfortunately, veterans tend to need more help with PTSD than anybody else in a country. When a veteran is in distress, a network of veterans groups, and in our case, led by our Ramsey County Veteran Service Office, and we get together quarterly to coordinate, cooperate, and how do we help veterans. And it's a network of kind of tiered support to get them in. And what we in the American Legion and the VFW and DAV and other veterans group do is we're kind of sometimes the first ones, and especially on a weekend when they can't get a hold of someone else, that provides the help. And so as an example of what we did is the government shutdown and snafu created veterans in distress for food. And in my case, we had a White Bear Lake couple that had been injured, hadn't been able to work, didn't have the smarts to figure out you could go to other social services, get help early. So he gets evicted from his house during this thing, which just made it even harder to get any help. And so, but prior to the actual government shutdown, Christina gets a hold of all of our group and says, hey, this is coming. Who can I get a hold of on short notice to get some of that help? And so a lot of the VFWs and the Legions ponied up. Some sent food cards so that they had them, so we didn't even have to wait for things to happen. So, you just help them immediately. And that worked out well. So this one couple that was evicted from their house, our post was able to provide him gift cards. The church gave him gas cards so he could get to his new part-time job. And we provide him housing over a weekend. My post extended the amount of money that we can do for one person. But so then my partners in the VFW post in Roseville then picked up the tab for a next period. So veterans taking veteran care is a very good thing. I'd like to reflect on how our organization has supported veterans and their families. I guess I just covered that. The network continues to work all year round, not just in November, and cannot be done alone. As you can imagine, there's many, many different things that the veterans community offers between the federal, state, and county, but knowing what's there is a little confusing, so that help from the county service officers is huge. I'd like to point out that there's a unique camaraderie amongst veterans that's not seen often in the civilian world. You're in a high-stress, life-threatening environment. You've developed this bond that's unique. And so the veterans clubs are a good place for us to get together. And let's face it, there are things that I'd be more comfortable talking to Dan or George with that my wife, love her, but she doesn't get. It's kind of like I have a single brother, and talking to him about how neat it is, how beautiful it is to raise children, as a single guy, it's a third dimension he just doesn't get. So supporting veterans is a good thing in the club, and one good step. But when a veteran has a need, a challenge, medical or mental health, and needs maybe a VA disability assessment, is laid off or something else, that doesn't happen in November. That happens year long. It happens usually it tends to happen on a Friday night, right? And so we come in as the veterans groups to help out, to get them through the weekend, to get them into the bigger, broader network, to get the services they need. And so it's a good team effort, and it's needed year long. And I would like to close with thanking this commission for the support for all the services you provide to our veterans. It's a needed, worthwhile, and it makes such a difference. And let's face it, it's good for our country as we take care of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Thompson. I'm the Senior Vice Commander of the Roseville Post 7555, and I'm a graduate of Mounds View High School, Civil Engineering University of Minnesota. I was the CIC Commander aboard an ammunition ship. I did 3 tours in Vietnam, and during my Navy career, I sailed almost 600,000 miles at sea. Oh, yeah. The connection to the VFW that's most important to me began in 1955 when I was in 9th grade at one of the local grade schools. And on Veterans Day, our teacher, who was a veteran of World War II, invited the last surviving veteran of the Civil War to speak at our class. I was 9 years old. The veteran of the Civil War was 105. He enlisted in 1864, 3 years after his father was killed in the Civil War. He was 14 years old and lied to the enlistment board so that he could be a drummer boy. He was instrumental in forming the Grand Army of the Republic, of which I am a member, and Gary is the former commander of the Grand Army, or the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War, which is the direct extension of the Grand Army of the Republic, which was originally set up by Albert Henry Wilson, and thousands of others. In 1898, after the Spanish-American War, there was a need for another kind of an organization that served foreign veterans, and the children and some of the members of the GAR then formed the VFW, and we are proud descendants of that heritage and guardians of it. Albert Henry Wilson's memorial in Gettysburg has the inscription, "Dedicated to those who leave their homes, serve their country honorably, then return home." It's an exceptionally simple statement, but the burning part of it for veterans is the returning home part, which is the difficult part. Because when you leave your country at 18, 19, or 20 years old, and you go to a land where the language is different, the cultures are different, the food is different, sometimes it's your first experience away from home, to do things that sometimes are unspeakable, unforgettable, and they can create new circuitry in your brain, which is exactly what PTSD is. One of the reasons I joined the VFW is I helped a friend who was in dire stress, dire problems due to PTSD. He was a combat veteran of Vietnam, 2 Purple Hearts. He was ready to receive a 3rd one when he was over there, and he said, "No, I don't want the 3rd one. It wasn't a serious enough wound." He died of COVID in 2021, and at his passing, I decided I was going to become a member of the VFW and help veterans. And in my time since the VFW at Roseville, I've risen up to Senior Vice Commander. I'm hoping it's possible that I may become the commander next year. And I've had the great pleasure of working with Christina Rost and the Roseville, or the Ramsey County Veteran Service Officer. The Roseville VFW is a proud and successful member of our community. We work closely with the City Council and the Fire Department and the police, and we are closely connected to the American Legion, which is just 3/4 of a mile away, which I also am a member of the American Legion. Our whole reason for existing is to have an open door so that veterans can find a home, a place, an opportunity to be funneled into the channels where they can get help, whether it's financial, legal, and we usually direct them over to the veteran service officers. In closing, I'd just like to say that it's been an honor to serve the veterans of the Civil War, or the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I can plan on doing that well into the future. I'll be 80 years old in next April, and I look forward to a long and successful career with the VFW and working with the city and the county. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Weiss. Up until recently, I was a lifelong resident of Ramsey County. I now live in Woodbury, I'm sorry to say, just because I love Ramsey County. I'm a U.S. Air Force Vietnam-era veteran. My job in the military was nuclear weapons transport security. So like him, I have a lot of miles all over the world. Never really got to see anything, but got all over the world. I would like to thank this county board for your support of my brothers and sister veterans and their families. It is very important. I am a member of Arcade Phelan American Legion Post. It is the last home post in the city of St. Paul. In other words, we're the last building. You guys have been very good to us. We appreciate your support. It has been difficult during COVID and the ensuing years afterwards. We are coming back, and we're coming back in a big way. We are the community center for the east side of St. Paul. It's where the quinceañeras, celebrations of life, weddings, we're the place where it takes place. And we thank you for your support. Have a great one, and you're appreciated.
Thank you.
All right,
say your name, introduce yourselves, and we'll kind of walk through. First, I just want to say thank you. Like, it's our community partners that really move our work forward. We can't do this alone, so it's really all of these guys and their groups and their communities. Also want to recognize the Veterans Center. Paul, he'll come by. And then our ERG for Ramsey County got your 6.
Tom Campia, thanks for allowing us to be here.
Paul Weinberg, thank you.
Stay up here, we'll have a picture when we're all done. So
Rich Stevens, Ramsey County employee.
George Brown, past commander of VFW Post 1782 in Wade Bear Lake. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your support.
Paul Peterson here from the VA Vet Center. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Ramsey County. Christina Roast and Ramsey County Veteran Services have been outstanding. It's one of the 3 very important nodes for us. We serve the southern half. We take care of Ramsey and Dakota. I'm a 33-year Air Force veteran, retired lieutenant colonel, and it's wonderful to be up here with my brothers and sisters, but it's wonderful to have a home in Ramsey County, so thank you very much.
Hi, Tanya Harris. I'm sorry, weepy. I'm a Ramsey County employee and a veteran, Army veteran. Thank you.
Hello, Commissioners, Chairman Ortega. My name's Pat Chapman. I'm the Ramsey County Assessor, proud Army veteran. Been with the county for 18 years, and I really appreciate the support for veterans. As a side note, we started the Veterans ERG with Christina's help and some other people here from the county that you're going to hear. And we have a strong veterans group in the county for all those who work in Ramsey County and want to be part of a veterans services. Please just give us a call at our ERG on the website. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Mazzatello, Deputy Director of Public Works for Ramsey County, proud Air Force veteran, active duty as well as the Minnesota Air National Guard, and part of the Veterans Employee Resource Group for Ramsey County.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Erin Hansen, Air Force veteran, currently serving in the reserves, newer Ramsey County employee, and an ERG member. Thank you for your support.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Karen Francois, and I am the proud Deputy County Manager for the Information and Public Records Service Team, which includes Veteran Services. I am also the proud supervisor of 2 of our veterans, Director Rost and Director Chapman, and I am also the proud daughter of a military veteran. My father served in Vietnam and in Korea. And thank you so much for supporting veterans. We really need that support, and we're grateful to you for it. And thank you for your service.
Lizzie, can we take a picture now?
Yes. Make it official.
No, will the ladies in the back come up front? Because we can't see you.
Do you want us to get these? Okay.
Let me see if I can see everyone. Okay, I'm gonna take 3. So 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. We will now have a presentation on the Emerging and Diverse Developers Program. I'm going to ask Director Josh Olson to come up. Josh, you brought your fan club with you?
I brought the fan club. Actually, I think Jerica brought the fan club. Commissioners, Mr. Chair, I'm excited to be here. This has now become a yearly tradition of ours and certainly the best day, I believe, for CED yearly. But this is our third year of our Emerging and Diverse Developers Program. And so just as a friendly reminder to our audience, that this program was established to address barriers in our real estate industry, and more importantly, ignite a generation of community-centered developments, as well as passionate entrepreneurs. Additionally, our EDD program, that's, we live in acronyms, our EDD program allows us to partner with community-based organizations like NAO, and I'm excited that they are here today, as we prepare and equip employers in a growth sector to mitigate and dismantle systematic racism and pilot a new model for inclusive and equitable advancement, specifically to close wages, foster new economic development within our community. If you need a citation, I just point you to our ECI plan and strategies, basically 1 through 8, but I'm excited to be here. Over the last 3 years, we've had over 100 graduates of our EDD program, and it continues to grow. So I'm excited to pass this along. I really need to stop talking because really the talent is right here beside me, and hear from our key staff leading this program, and Jerica Gomez. So Jerica.
Thank you, County Manager, Commissioners. This is so exciting. This is the third year of the EDD program, and I am so excited to be able to spearhead this program, but I wouldn't be able to do it without my amazing partners at NAO. So I'll ask all of my NAO partners to come up, and I'll also ask all of the graduates to come up, please. I have never been so proud. While they're coming up, I'll let you guys all know that the Emerging and Diverse Developers Program is one program with 2 parts. One of those parts is a classroom experience where the developers go through an 8-week classroom so they can learn all of the tenets of developments, from pro forma development to getting permits, variances, to talking to other jurisdictions, Met Council, talking to other funders, and understanding how to build a capital stack for housing and community development, for affordable housing for our constituents. Come on up, don't be scared. The men and women behind me have successfully completed this rigorous 8-week program in person, and y'all know that's hard. They had to go through so many different elements, but one of the biggest things is understanding that this is not competition. This is a network that they are building, that they can all work together. In a couple of weeks, we'll be in here with the EDD solicitation applications, because not only did they go through a classroom experience, they also have an opportunity to apply into our solicitations that is exclusive for emerging developers with less than 25 housing units or 15,000 square feet of commercial space. This is not remedial. These are amazing individuals who have done amazing things in their field. We had 156 applicants into the Emerging and Diverse Developers Program cohort this year, and we can only take 35. So this is the cream of the crop behind us, and they have done amazing things. This program provides a tripod of support. So thinking about a tripod, that's 3 legs. One, it supports our city's aging housing stock. Since 2023, the program has added and stabilized and or renovated 441 affordable units in Ramsey County, investing $11.6 million into the housing infrastructure. And these dollars go directly back into the community. And like Josh said, strategies 1 through 8 of the ECI plan. So I'm here and I'm humble, but You know what I mean? My program is really doing the equity work for Ramsey County, so I'm very, very proud of it. Two, this program provides the county with an opportunity to strengthen local Black, minority, and women-owned businesses and puts developers who come from multiple points of entry into this field. This is not easy work, but the people behind me are capable of doing it. And like I said, they come from many points of entry. You don't have to have a degree to get into development. You don't have to have gone through any rigorous education in order to do it. And many people were able to access housing and community infrastructure prior, just because of things like redlining, racial covenants. You have disparate lending. And in Minnesota, we have some of the most disparate ownership of housing, and so you want to think about that and consider that as you look at the folks behind me and how we're getting these folks into ownership, we're getting them into wealth generation, and we're doing it not only for them but for their families who are also present in the room today. Three, and this is the most important one to me because I was a child raised on Section 8, is we provide affordable housing for youth and families just like me. This is a vital investment that would be nearly impossible without our flexible Housing Redevelopment Authority levy funding. And I just thank you guys so much for your continued support. I had to join the Navy and get a whole master's degree to be in this room, and I'm knocking down the doors in order to make sure, Ramsey County is knocking down the doors in order to make sure that folks behind me get in that door without having to do that, write a check up to including their life. So thank you so much for that, and I would like to call out my amazing team at NAO Partners. I would not be able to do this without y'all. Where y'all at? Where y'all in the back? D'Angelo Stavinkinson, who is the CEO of NAO Partners. Malika Billingsley, I don't even know what your official title is. But
Person that does all
the things. Yeah, I would say that. The manager of the EDD program, who is Sydney. And then we have Kylie behind me, who also does operations. Summer, who does operations. This program would be nothing without these vital community partners who become more than a liaison, but a stepping stone for individuals to translate the county jargon, because I'm also a cog in the machine, as well as the governmental process and to get these folks inside of the room. Without further ado, I will introduce D'Angelo Stavinkinson.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
County Commissioners, thank you. County Manager, thank you for your continued support of this program. As mentioned, this is year 3, and we've learned so much, but also the world has changed so much in those 3 years. When we first started the program, there was a different level of fervor in the air for the support of emerging developers. But now more than ever, this program seems to be an antidote to the macro environment that we continue to face. And so our commitment has remained to see that the people behind us are empowered to do this without us. Yes, we would love to support them in the future, but we wanted to make sure we created a program that only someone like Malika could run, that fully equips them to teach them how to fish for themselves. This is not about creating dependency in the community development ecosystem, but about creating transformation that can sustain through generations without us all having to do this every year for the same person. We are truly building pipeline. Jerica has read off some amazing stats from the first 2 cohorts. This cohort is probably going to outperform because they are bolder. The attitudes in the room were much more zesty this year. But I think there's a lot more confidence in the room. And it's not out of a misplaced position, but it is in response to the times that we're in. And so while we started this program, partnering with community to build them up, now we have reached a point where community is ready to partner with Ramsey County to build more housing. So thank you.
I would like to introduce Catrice Williams, who was she was a participant in the cohort, and she's going to talk about her story as well as how she got into development. I'm so excited to introduce her.
Thank you, Jerica. Good morning, commissioners, and everyone here. My name is Catrice Williams, and it is an honor to stand here this morning on behalf of such a powerful group of emerging developers. My journey to this cohort is rooted in legacy, and that's simple. Rooted in legacy. My journey to this point, it mirrors a lot of people standing here. My ancestors came to this country in chains. And I carry that resilience into every room that I occupy, every room that I walk into. For generations, my people have been denied wealth, access to wealth, and land ownership, from chattel slavery to redlining to deed covenants to disparate lending. It's all there. And that is a large part of the reason why I chose to apply to the Emerging Developers cohort. That's the truth, and that truth fuels my purpose. In my career, I work in nonprofit housing because I believe that housing is a human right. And in my career, I support families who want what everyone deserves: security, dignity, and a chance to build forward. I'm also a licensed realtor. And I don't just help people purchase a property. I help people gain access to their future. And with that being said, one of my clients this past week, and this is the first time this ever happened to me, right here in Ramsey County, passed away in a tragic accident. His name was Ben Villano. And I would just like to take a moment to honor his life and his journey in the affordable homeownership space. So if we could just take a moment of silence for Ben, I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Beyond access to housing, asset creation is a passion of mine. I'm committed to helping individuals and communities move from survival to stability. And it's because of that commitment to legacy building that I chose, again, to apply to this cohort. I knew that to create change at scale, I needed the tools to lead development, not just support it. This 8-week cohort has been transformative. We've absorbed technical knowledge, financing, feasibility, deal structuring, and what was most impactful, especially for me, was a shift in identity. Before I walked in this room, I didn't think I could do this, even with a decade-long career in real estate. I've helped people do transactions. I've helped people buy multifamily. I've helped people develop real estate, and I didn't think I could do it myself. We didn't just learn how to develop. We began believing that we are the ones who should. To my fellow cohort members, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making this space possible. Your brilliance, your lived experience, and your courage reminded me that development is not just about buildings, it's about people, culture, and the future. To the Ramsey County and NAO partner staff, thank you. Thank you for giving us a space to occupy. Thank you for affirming that our perspectives are essential to this industry. And to our families, give our families a hand. Especially my mom, who is my child care and my pinch hitter, and all of our families who've supported us during the late nights, long days, and balanced everything between wiping noses and wiping tears. Thank you for holding us up when we learn to stand even taller. I leave this program more skilled, more confident, and more determined than ever to build intentionally, center equity, expand access, and create assets that last long beyond our lifetime. Today's not just a graduation, it's a call to action. We're ready to build not just projects, but legacy. So that the next generation doesn't start from chains. They get to start from chance. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. County Manager, I almost forgot to thank my team at CED. So to my incredible team, Josh Olson, my director, Max Holthusen, who is not here, our deputy director, and Tanisha Johnson-Trice, our acting manager, you have all been a true gift to me, and I would not be able to do my dream job without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Now we're going to do a brief walkthrough just to introduce everybody in the room.
Take a photo first.
Oh, you want to take the photo first?
Yeah. Take the photo first.
Photo
Take the
first.
photo first, then they can introduce and walk out.
But you could always come around. Get close like you love each other. We are family.
All right, I'm gonna take 3. So 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1.
Jerica Gomez, Ramsey County CED.
Abel Vice.
Hi, my name is Mark Snow. I'm a financial services professional and also a wealth management advisor. Proud Ramsey County, St. Paul native. Grew up in the Rondo community, and yeah, just really thankful to be here. Appreciate you guys.
Sydney Brantley with NAO Partners. I was lucky enough to be the program coordinator this year for EDD, so it was great working with everyone, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity, so thank you for the support.
Elias Henry, emerging developer.
I am Jabril Betts. I'm an entrepreneur and an emerging developer, proud father and husband of that young lady that's back there taking pictures.
My name is Noelle Bertina. I'm a realtor, entrepreneur, and emerging developer. I have introduced 5 new affordable units in the last year in Ramsey County. So thank you for having us, and through the help of NAO Partners and EDD program. So thank you guys for your support.
Tanisha Trice, Ramsey County CED.
Hi, my name is Shauna Jackson. I'm a realtor and investor and emerging developer from the Rondo community. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Hi, my name is Natasha Bennett, and I just first want to just thank God for this opportunity. I believe that you can walk by faith and not sight, and I think that being a member and have experienced so many challenges from homelessness and ADA provisions, I really want to thank the program for really being patient and really adapting to different learning styles. I think that's what diversity and equity really looks like, being able to resemble people who will take time to understand you, to want to help you, and I really hope that we all learn to lower these barriers when it comes to this affordable housing, because credit is not taught in our communities. Eviction is something that takes place when you just cannot afford to pay the rent. And the challenges are still here as we just had the government shutdown. So I just so happy that all of the developers are going to create opportunities for families everywhere. Thank you.
My name is Ebony Dickerson, and I'm the owner of Solomon Finishers. I've been an entrepreneur for about a decade now, and I'm also in the midst of a larger development with some other development partners. And so I'm looking forward to implementing all of the things that EDD has taught me and intersecting my business and construction, as well as entrepreneurship in the beauty business and the community work that I've been doing. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Avi Rose. I'm a emerging developer, as well as I manage properties in Ramsey County and have been in real estate for 4 years. My goal is to bring safe, community-focused, affordable housing to Ramsey County. I believe that everybody deserves a safe environment to live in. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bong Zhang. I'm a licensed general contractor and partnered with my architect to form a development company, Second Ave Development. Yep.
Good morning. Hamoud Mire, M&M real estate developer, emerging developer. Thank you.
My name is Whitney Kizard. I am an emerging developer. Thank you so much for your time and this opportunity.
My name is Joe Borkus. I'm co-founder of OG Development, which is a native-owned development company. And I just want to thank you guys for your time and appreciate this program.
My name is Sharnae Smith. I'm a realtor and an emerging developer. Thanks for the opportunity, guys.
Good morning. My name is Marvin Banks, EDD graduate, also owner of me and my wife's real estate investment company here in also Wisconsin as well. So thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning, everyone. I brought a pitch under 1 minute and teared up so many times, but I said I'm just going to be myself. Good morning again. My name is Shelly-Ann Douglas. I'm an immigrant from Jamaica. Migrated here to Minnesota in 2015. I'm just going to be quick and be transparent. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've experienced homelessness. I know what it is to have wealth. My mom was a landlord herself in Jamaica, and she was also a farmer. And so I grew up with that dream to become a landlord one day. I came here into America and I experienced homelessness myself. I got in the field of housing coordinator. My job was terminated at that point. And no, I'm in the school district, 916 school district teaching. But my goal and my dreams is to house people that are unfortunate so that they can have a comfortable roof over their head and, just shelter. So that's my goal, to own apartment complexes and townhomes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Asnat Gabrameddin, and as of this program, I'm a developer, also a realtor, and my passion is to create housing with dignity, especially for immigrant and refugee communities. So thank you.
Hello and good morning. My name is Candace Ellis. I am the CEO and founder of Ellis Holdings as well as C.A. Ellis & Associates. My dream and my passion has always been with all of my companies is to connect people and businesses with resources and tools so they can be successful. So I'm grateful for this opportunity so I can continue that mission.
Good morning, everybody. My name is James Garrett Jr. I'm the managing partner of Formula Architects across the street. I'm a multinational award-winning architect who designs affordable housing, and now I am entering the world of development to actually develop. My great-great-grandmother was the first black homeowner on Rondo Avenue in St. Paul, 587 Rondo. That home was destroyed in 1959, bulldozed. I now am a proud resident of the west side of St. Paul. In 1960, a big chunk of that neighborhood was also demolished by the same bulldozers. My goal is to help rebuild both communities with not just affordable housing, but all the support systems that go with it.
Hello, Khalik Rogers here. I'm Executive Director of Catalyst for Systems Change.
We're showing how real community impact happens when systems align, and the Ramsey County EDD program is a great example for that. So I just want to say thank you to NAO partners in Ramsey County for creating such an amazing program. I've actually met and connected with a couple of you recently out in our inner city visit in Detroit, as we learned how the city of Detroit revitalized their downtown and riverfront, which for me was an amazing experience, but also got to see two sides of that story. The story of, commercial real estate and investors, and speaking on how they revitalized a city that was bankrupt for 25 years, but also went to talk to the community, went into the community, connected with local business owners, people of African-American descent. As we know, Detroit's a predominantly black city, but they also had a very different story to tell, which was vastly different from the story that was being pushed from more of the upper class, middle class, upper wealthy community. And this program for me is a great reflection of what happens when our systems do align and when they're designed with community voice and impact. It's one thing to know that owning a home, I knew that was a big deal. Everyone knows home ownership. We've all probably played Monopoly at one point in time. It's we always love when we get to receive instead of people taking from us, right? So this is a great opportunity for us not just to know why home ownership is important, but to know how to make that dream accessible and possible. So thank you all, and I'm excited to get in the game. Appreciate it.
Well, you've all met me, and my mom always says I've never met a microphone I didn't meet, so I thought I'd come back in. This is Lennox James. Lennox, say hi. Say hi. Lennox's legacy. I was just chatting with Josh over here a second ago, and he was saying hello. Lennox, say hi. Oh, there's a keyboard. Josh was saying, Lennox, you're going to probably be in the 30th or in the 20th cohort of EDD. And I looked at Josh, and I just had to tell him, oh, no, he won't be eligible. Again, my name is Catrice Williams. I am a proud emerging developer, a licensed realtor, and what I like to call an affordable housing advocate. Thank you again for all of your support in this program. It is really affecting change, and we hope to see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, just a parting piece. This party will continue. After today, we'll be back to you all in mid-December. As Jerica mentioned, there's a two-part to this program. The second part is that solicitation, and our CED team is knee-deep in applications and reviewing those, and we'll be back with awards recommendations in mid-December.
December 16th, look out for us.
Thank you.
Here with the award.
Thank you.
So much.
And congratulations. We now have the administrative agenda. Commissioner Zhang.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me just pull this up here. Should I go ahead? Yeah.
Well, okay then.
Oh, the action on me.
Someone hit the button.
Oh, Jason went back to bed. For a minute, I thought it was silence. You and I will be gone.
Oh, they are in St. Paul.
They are.
All right. Good. Okay. All right, Mr. Chair, I would like to move item number 5, license and lease amendment with the State of Minnesota Department of Transportation for the use of the Arden Hills Communication Facility. Item number 6, certification of property assessed clean energy charges for energy improvements. Item number 7, First Amendment to the agreement with District Energy St. Paul, Inc. for district cooling services. Item number 8, Central Fleet Fund balance transfer.
Poll number 8.
Okay. Item number 9, request for proposals for food services. Item 10, general contingency account fund transfer. Item 11, the 2026 Ramsey County State Legislative Platform. Item number 12, the 2026 Ramsey County Federal Legislative Platform. May I get a second, please?
Second.
Hearing no further discussion, roll call, please.
Zhang,
Aye.
Jebin Singh,
Aye.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran is excused, and Ortega.
Aye. Sarah?
Yes, given the amount of the fund transfer and given our current budget environment, I just wanted to have a couple of questions to explain.
Could you move it?
Oh, sorry. I would move item number 8. Sorry, I have to get to that page. I move the Central Fleet Fund balance transfer.
Second.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would just, given the light of our budgetary environment and the amount that we're talking about, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions to our department to explain this item.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. How can I be of service?
Let's just start with a little bit by saying, just give a quickie explanation as to what this agenda item is and why it's on our agenda today.
Thank you, Commissioner. So let's start with Fleet provides services to somewhere between 12 and 15 departments countywide. It ranges from maintaining vehicles to procuring vehicles to equipment and everything in between. We've been in front of this board a number of times over the last several years discussing the issue around what I'll call the kind of structural funding problem when it comes to the Central Fleet services. And so over the last couple of years, I know that last year we did the same thing, and I believe it was around the same amount. So in order to address some of the ongoing costs and the increased costs in some places, we have been transferring funds from fund balance to make up that gap. And you'll see in this RBA that some of it goes to operating and some of it goes to capital.
Sure. So from my understanding, too, that if this is a structural issue, and this is something that we've had to do a fund transfer for a couple of years now and perhaps longer, do you feel as if there is some opportunity for us to look at some different ways of approaching how we fund the fleet? One of the things that comes to mind for me in front of this board, we accept different grants at different times from different departments. Sometimes those grants pay for these kinds of vehicles, but maybe aren't covering the tail end of maintenance throughout the life of the vehicle. There could be other ways that decisions are being made around fleet procurement and then maintenance that would make this more structurally stable and built into the budget year after year rather than having to have supplemental transfers of funds. Is that something that we should be considering or looking into in the future?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioner. I'd like to take this one. So as part of our budget work this past year, one of the things I had mentioned to you all is a deeper look at some of these long-term funding pressures that have shown up over multiple budget cycles. And while we're still doing that analysis, and I'll be bringing that into a conversation with our executive team for some prioritization as we move into next year with these administrative directors, this is definitely high on the list in terms of something that has come up multiple budget cycles as a deep dive that we need to take about how we fund fleet going forward as a enterprise and not just as kind of like one-off vehicles or just putting that burden on Public Works. And so this items, obviously brought to light that we have some shifts that have to happen in the immediate, but you can expect next year as we share around our strategic priority around operational excellence, as we try to clean up some of these fiscal budget pressures. This is going to be something that's going to come back to the board either in a presentation of some sort or as part of the strategic priority or a workshop as we kind of get deeper into how we're doing on this topic just overall for our fiscal stability. Does that help?
That's what I was really hoping for, and I appreciate that as we have gone through this last budget cycle, that not only are we looking at the immediate decisions that are in front of us, but long-term stability and digging into some of that structural work that we need to do. One of the other things I just want to throw into this space too is I had an opportunity through the Ramsey County Legal Local Governments to tour the East Side Emergency or First Responder Training Center in Maplewood and got to see a Maplewood vehicle that they had just recently invested in, and was chatting about the idea that, we have coordinated responses in public safety, in emergencies, and other kind of things that are going on with our different municipal law enforcement and other county departments. And realizing that some of these vehicles are highly specific. They're used for very individualized occurrences, and they get outdated with technology really fast, and they're also very expensive. And so I guess the question I would also throw into this is, can we be more mindful in the way that we're making these initial investments so that we're not having something that's really great but get used maybe 4 times a year and otherwise is a really cool things for kids and people to view at a public outreach event, but more is that we're really making sure that if we're going to invest in high-level equipment, that we're utilizing it to the maximum throughout our region and with our partners.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I can take this one too. So some of you are on the Joint Taxing Authority JITPAC, and we've had some similar conversations around how to be more effective and efficient with some of our resources as it relates to across jurisdictions. And so I want to bring that kind of in parallel with this conversation. We have multiple levels of government, sometimes with our cities or even with other layers, all trying to do some similar work together. And in this particular moment in time, as all of us have been talking about increasing budget pressures, this is going to be the kind of conversation that we have to have. And so I appreciate you, Commissioner, lifting this specific example up, but we also talked about this in a different setting around some of our buildings, for example, across our jurisdictions, or how we're using other resources across jurisdictions. So I think that is going to be a common theme, and I look forward to having those conversations with our other partners as we work through our more challenging budgets in the years ahead here. So it's a good suggestion. Yeah, Brian.
If I could just add,
Yeah.
Commissioner, I appreciate the sentiment. I will say that the fleet has been in a state of transition. We had someone who was a longtime employee who retired and has been transitioning out with a new central fleet manager. But that being said, fleet is one of the places where there is a lot of connectivity. For folks who might not be aware, in the Public Works building, we support Mounds View Public Schools, we support Arden Hills, Lake Johanna Fire Department, and a number of other agencies that work through our fleet for a variety of things. And so is it where we'd like it to be collaboratively and with a regional approach? Probably not quite yet, but I think that that's something we can get to. And I'm 100% confident in our fleet folks in getting there.
Well, and I appreciate that. And the reason why I bring this up is because public safety, first responding, making sure that that we are able to be where we need to be, how we need to be to help when help is needed is of the utmost concern. And making sure that we're good stewards of those dollars allows us to be as responsive as we can. And so I appreciate us looking into that in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hearing no further discussion, roll call, please.
Zhang,
Aye.
Jabin Singh,
Aye.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran is excused, and Ortega.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, before we finish, did anyone else pull anything or pull another item? I just want to make a comment on a couple items that I didn't pull.
Okay.
Go ahead. I just wanted to acknowledge, I didn't pull them because I didn't know we needed to, but I just want to acknowledge all the work that went into the state legislative platform and the federal legislative platform. And just to say that we just passed them formally. We had a workshop last week on this, and I just want to say that this was the final passage, and just to acknowledge all the work that's gone into this by our government relations team of Jen O'Rourke, Jolie Wood, and Amy Wazelwick, and just all these staff that have put time and effort into this work. It's a big deal. And also the fact that we will be continuing to look at this work from when the legislative session starts next year. We will be, having a regular report on our agenda every meeting, and we will be open to amendments and open to adjusting this platform as we see fit, because the legislative work is fluid. But I just wanted to acknowledge that was a big deal that we passed both of these items today on our agenda. So thank you.
Thank you. Why don't we begin with Commissioner Sean?
Oh, no, we have ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got you.
You're absolutely correct. That's where I was going.
Yeah, you were going there, but I got in the way because I wanted to comment.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion on the adoption of the 2026 Capital Improvement Program Bond Ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? This is all, we've gone through this work before. Hearing no further discussion, roll call.
Zhang,
Aye.
Jebin Singh,
Aye.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran is excused, and Ortega.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion on the resolution authorizing the 2026 A bond sale.
So moved.
Second.
See no further discussion, roll.
Mr. Chair, I do have comments.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm pulling up just the attachments on this item. Attachment number 4, the proposed schedule for the 2026 Capital Improvement Program bond sale. And I have just some questions. Director Isaacson may be able to help with this. With the multimodal planning projects, the roadway M-Care improvements, and the pedestrian bicycle improvements. This is on page 4. First, the general question for all of this, for the municipal intergovernmental funding source. May we just clarify for the record which source this is?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, I will say we'll start off by saying that the CIP overall incorporates the TIP in total. And yet the CIP is not, you're not bonding for, in general, you're not bonding for TIP projects like multimodal planning and other things. And so the TIP is like a subset of its own universe inside the overall umbrella of the CIP. And so the action that you're taking today would not be directly related to that. Typically, what Public Works gets out of the CIP program is somewhere between $1.25 and $2 million of bonding for general pavement work that we apply across a variety of mill and overlay and maintenance type pavement work. So the action that you're taking is not directly related to that, and what you'll see in the upcoming CIPs is you'll see whatever updated TIP. So we incorporate that TIP as a unique subset within the CIP. Hopefully that clarifies that question.
So then, just to also restate, and so that I may understand this better, is that it's the funding sources would be from the TIP, or the Transportation Improvement Plan is what this line or this column is capturing.
Right, and Mr. Chair, Commissioner, my apologies. So the municipal funding source that you're speaking to would be something that was contained in the TIP, and generally speaking, those are going to be city funds, and if they've brought some other grant to the table, those are applying to their shares of county projects, and they typically represent somewhere between 5 and 15% of our projects where cities have a capital share.
Great. And then finally, since it is listed here too, will we be getting a presentation again on some of these projects as a more complete picture of our public works infrastructure projects, the multimodal planning, road construction, pedestrian bicycle improvements?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, we have a workshop this afternoon where we'll talk about the TIP overall. We have a board action coming to the board a week from today, and that will give you the full detailed TIP, and we'll have all of the projects that we plan for in the next 5 years. And that'll should give you the detail that you're seeking, and certainly if there's more detail desired, we can, as we say, Public Works is always here for your continued detailed needs.
Great. Yes, I look forward to that list. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Zhang,
Aye.
Jebin Singh,
Aye.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran is excused, and Ortega.
Aye. Thank you very much. County Connections?
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners. I have a few things. Taking us back a few days since we didn't have a meeting last week. After 43 days, the federal government reopened on November 12th, late in the evening. The continuing resolution goes through January 30th of 2026. We have focused significantly on two primary programs as we were anticipating disruptions and as a result of the shutdown. And so I just wanted to comment that regarding the SNAP program, it did receive $107.5 billion in mandatory funding for fiscal year 2026, which is actually a decrease from the fiscal year 2025. Child nutrition programs received about $38 million in mandatory funding, which is a slight increase from the 2025 fiscal year. And so with this, SNAP is fully funded for the remainder of fiscal year 2026. The spending bill fully funds women, infant, and children as well, which is our WIC program. And then I also wanted to just comment that the continuing resolution also included $6 billion to replenish the SNAP contingency fund and the $150 million of a WIC contingency fund that the Trump administration tapped into during the shutdown. So I want to thank many areas in the county who worked extremely hard during the shutdown. It was a very trying time for the organization. With things changing by the hour. Thank you to our leaders and financial assistants, as well as, not just leaders, but to the staff in all those departments as well. Public health, communications and public records, the county attorney's office, government relations. Much of the effort was led by our chief of staff, Maria Sarabia, and Andrew Greenlee, who work out of the chief of staff's office. But the work continues on the federal issues. If you saw the Pioneer Press, the front page today, there was a big article about HUD funding, and so we move our attention to something else today. And so the background is the Heading Home Ramsey Continuum of Care receives about $8 million in HUD funding per grant cycle to assist those at the risk of experiencing homelessness. Ramsey County, we receive a small portion, about $700,000 in direct HUD COC funding, but the rest of the award actually goes to many of our COC partners. And so it appears that the amount of funding that is going to COCs is going to be reduced. And so we are going to be looking, and with more conditions, obviously, so we're going to be tracking that. It has been widely reported housing advocates are very concerned about the shift from what is called a housing first approach to an emphasis on these transitional programs that come with a lot more program requirements for participants. And so it may be may cause more difficulty for people experiencing homelessness than to get into stable housing. So My point is, I don't have all the answers on the COC impact, but just that, we continue to just shift our work, and our staff continue to dedicate themselves to making sure residents get what they need. But this isn't really our normal work that we're tasked to do every day, and so it's just on top of the existing work that we're doing. But in a piece of better news, we have a,
Excuse me,
yeah.
I have a
Sure.
question on that. Now, the budget that was passed is not final. When is that taken up again?
I believe they passed a continuing resolution with the past budget that will go through January 30th of 2026. And then they will have to, we've taken everything we've done and put it into somewhere close by in case we have to.
So my question is, and that was my understanding too, my question is, could any of these issues like SNAP be brought up again?
I
At the end of
believe,
January?
yes, absolutely.
So then we're not out of the woods yet in terms of that it's, we're good for a whole year. I just want to clarify that.
No, I just had a follow-up question on that. Will the investment that we've made to some of our local food shelves, does that still stand even though the
Yes.
shutdown is over?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the need is so great, Garrison, that but my point is that even with SNAP, we're not out of the woods yet, because come the end of January, we might be facing the same scenario on top of
The other
other
things, yeah.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, thank you. So like I said, in a bit of more positive news about Union Depot, we have a small business that's expanding in downtown that's actually going to move from the Ham building over to Union Depot. So DG Pilot is a specialty retail store. Their niche is Minnesota-made goods and travel essentials and aviation-themed merchandise. So it's about travel, which I think makes Union Depot an opportune site for it. It is a Black-owned business founded by a gentleman named Donald Gardner. He's a commercial pilot for United Airlines, and he's successfully operated DG Pilot successfully for the last few years. So he is expanding, and so his goal is to offer more products, so people can learn more about our local culture, travel, and flight. And so we're excited about expanding business in Union Depot. So as we head into an exciting time in downtown, both in Union Depot and in Landmark, with some of the great winter activities that we have in store here as we get into December. So thank you.
And just on that note, the restaurant in Landmark is being renovated now, so hopefully we'll have one opening there. Okay, are we done? Yep. Okay, let's go to commissioners, and let's start with Commissioner Shung, and just go around the table.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First off, I just want to also thank our county board here, my colleagues, for being in attendance and being with community, with my family, to honor and celebrate my father-in-law, Zongwu Ya. He was also a captain in the SGU. And so today's recognition was also, both timely and also very just sentimental for families who have SGU veterans too, because there are not very many of them anymore. And our SGU veterans are folks who were recruited and paid by the US CIA to fight in the secret war. And I also just want to give a shout out to Director Rost from our Veterans Services Office, who also tried to help as best as she could to help navigate the complexity of both federal and state laws about benefits to our SGU veterans. And in this situation, it is really what some of the veterans said, is that it's veterans taking care of veterans. With the bureaucratic barriers, we were not able to, apply through the traditional process of getting recognition for my father-in-law. However, it was the VFW in North St. Paul that, took on the call to honor my father-in-law. So I just want to really lift that up and thank them. And also related to our veterans is also the benefit that veterans who are disabled may also apply for additional property tax relief too. So I just wanted to list that that's a service that they have that's available because they have earned that benefit. So I just wanted to lift that up. The other piece I want to name is on Saturday, I was able to join the Hmong Committee of 100 event at the River Center. It was a very big gala honoring 50 years of both resilience of the Hmong American diaspora. And what one of the keynote speakers spoke to was just about how, Hmong people have always been indigenous peoples of China, and how we have always fled, from persecution and from one country to another. And just being able to retain so much of that culture and the language is just a big significance of resilience and of what we can accomplish in the next 50 years too. So it's just very proud and also honored to be recognized amongst several of our electeds, as well as professionals such as doctors, lawyers, and educators. So it was really neat to just be recognized as a part of that group. And then the third thing that I do want to add is my office was able to join in and meet with Purple People. We'll get an update at another time about our Purple Line project as a whole board. However, I would say residents are still really excited about it, about a transit project on the east side. And the question around focus in needing business mitigation funds were brought up again because on White Bear Avenue we have several, and it's a business corridor essentially into the neighborhood that East Side residents depend on. So it's an ongoing conversation, and I'm just really thankful that we have folks both from philanthropy, from the county, who understand this and are trying to pull together different ways in which the community can come together to help with business mitigation funds. So with that said, I will leave to the other commissioners who were also in attendance yesterday with Ramsey County convening of both like stakeholders and partners. I was just very glad to be a part of it because I was able to talk with folks from Health Partners and Goodwill Easter Seals, who all have identified transit as a need, a part of their constituents or constituencies. So I was able to connect about our work and how that would align together in terms of transit planning, as well as investments in transit that's needed in the area, and also ask for their help and advocacy. Thank you.
Mike Chung, before you leave, for the audience, what does SU mean?
SU, Special Guerrilla Unit.
Okay. Yes. Just so folks
Thank you.
know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. A lot of things going on as usual. I just want to acknowledge that our Association of Minnesota Counties continues on with their solid waste work group. And they're just, doing great statewide information gathering about what's going on with solid waste in the state. Also, our Roseville Area Schools Foundation had a great fundraiser. Shout out to all of those that are fundraising for all the amazing efforts that are going on in our schools. Also, I toured the Union Gospel Mission with the Executive Director, Pam Axberg, and was very impressed and amazed at the work that they're doing at the Union Gospel Mission with housing those that are experiencing homelessness and really providing programming for them to move up and out into a thriving lifestyle. Landmark Gala was wonderful. I know many of us were there. That was great. Shout out to Landmark, all the board of directors and the people that put that on, and to the staff there. It was a great event. Also, Roseville had a Climate Equity Action Plan community event, which was great, and it was at our Environmental Service Center, which was a great venue for an event. So shout out to, Ramsey County for providing a space, and then for the climate action community that gathered to really talk about the work that's being done there. Great house bonding tour. We had a presentation on Aldridge Arena. Shout out to Commissioner Miller and our director, Mark McCabe of Parks and Rec. I think we did a great job presenting on our bonding request to the House Bonding Committee. I know that they then appeared on Friday for the park at River's Edge, and I think Commissioner Ortega was there, as well as Commissioner Moran, which I'll let you talk about that presentation that you did on River's Edge to that same bonding committee. Big deal was yesterday we had Active Living Ramsey Community celebrated its 20th anniversary. It was such a great celebration. We had many community members there, past and present. We had a great number of new people that are very interested in participating in our, Active Living is a coalition of people that are interested in mobility and in our All Abilities Transportation Network, but in biking, walking, and providing connectivity within our communities. Shout out to Connie Bernardi, who's our director there, and we put together a great program. She was amazing. We brought back former Commissioner Jan Parker, who came and gave her history of how she brought that to Ramsey County. Commissioner Ortega, thank you so much for being there, and Director, County Manager Becker for being there to hear the history of active living and why it's so important that we have a focus area and that the community is very vested in this work. I think we had 40, 50 people at this meeting and online, just talking about what they want to see moving forward. We did a look back and then what do we want to see in the future? And they're very interested. We had city council people from cities, school board members. We had a great group of elected officials. Director Isaacson was there with a number of his staff from Public Works. It was at the Public Works building. I thought it was a great event and a great show of interest and support from our community, of our nonprofit groups that that are interested in this, Bike Minnesota, Biking and Walking Coalition, and as I said, our city council and school board members from various members of our community were all there. And so thank you for everyone who had a part in that. And it's just exciting to think about the work that we're going to do moving forward. So thanks to everyone for that.
Thank you, Carol.
Alrighty, well, it's been a busy couple of weeks. I'm going to do a speed round of events without a lot of extrapolation, but it's still a long list. I just want to thank the Metro Area Age-Friendly Regional Exchange. There was an event of folks who have been doing this age-friendly work. Lovely to see a lot of old colleagues there, and I was able to sit on a panel with Senator Abler and Representative Claiborne to talk about kind of our role within supporting that age-friendly work. Thank you to ASME 151 and our financial aid services employees who were able to give me a little tour and walk through on some of the challenges that they continue to face. A lot of it has to do continually with the prescribed mandates, paperwork, bureaucracy, and technology with our state and federal partners that we continue to advocate in their favor to make their work easier and to be more responsive to our community. I want to thank our Public Works for doing a traffic safety and roundabouts presentation at Waverly Gardens. The work at Centerville and County Road J continues, and it was wonderful that they not only are doing that community outreach, but engaging individuals with how to walk, bike, and drive safely in that intersection. There was within our District 1, there are a number of local community grassroots organizations through different pockets of the 9 different municipalities that I represent that are doing community-based, inclusive, and welcoming communities type work. And we did a small group convening of a number of those different organizations just so that they could meet each other, network together, exchange ideas, and collaborate going forward. And that was well received, and we anticipate making those more of a quarterly convening for that group. And I also want to thank Ramsey County advocacy group employee Cassandra for coming out too, because a lot of the work that she does is making sure that individual voices throughout Ramsey County are heard by our programs internally, and to be able to have her in the suburban areas and meeting grassroots organizers so that she has a better inroad into some of our neighborhoods and communities that might not necessarily already be engaging directly with Ramsey County. So thank you for that. Thank you to everybody who joined the 50 years of Ramsey County's Meals on Wheels. It was lovely to celebrate that organization. And then I was able to thank the VLAMO, the Venice Lakes Area organization for Venice Sucker Lake Park Cleanup Day. Thank you to Mounds View for the Veterans Day event at Tribute Park. Commissioner Miller and I were able to present at a League of Women Voters Commissioners panels with at the Maplewood Library last week with colleagues from Washington County, and it was really great to be able to field all those questions from community. And the League of Women Voters continues to be a very well-informed and advocacy group promoting democracy and civic participation, so we thank them for that opportunity. We were able to go on the correctional facility tour to get to know more about what's going on there. I also want to highlight that the Rice Creek Commons, we had a webinar on sustainability. My committee member, council member Tina Munson from Arden Hills was part of that, as well as staff. They were able to put that on, and that is an informational webinar that is available on our Rice Creek Commons website, and that is an ongoing series. So if there are other topics that people want to know more about, we can do those more informed, in-depth webinars going forward. We were able to go to the, lots going on this week. Sorry. Let's see. I want to thank the U of M Health Management students for their capstone project with Crescent Cove Pediatric Respite Program. It's one of the very few pediatric respite programs in our area, and it was lovely to be able to hear more about that. The VHEDC's annual dinner. The Ramsey County League of Local Governments, I mentioned before, the East Metro Public Safety Training Facility Tour. It's really impressive to see that we have such a facility locally to make sure that all of our first responders have the opportunity to train properly in our area. I want to thank everybody, all the volunteers for the Friends of the Library book sale who were at the Roseville Area Library, and all of those sales support our suburban libraries. And then Saturday, I was able to go to the Ramsey County Sheriff's Explorers Pancake Breakfast in Little Canada. And I just want to thank our sheriff's outreach and workers who have been working with our area youth, making those connections in neighborhoods and making sure people feel safe and connected to our local public safety and law enforcement is really crucial. And then I had a chance to be at a Partners in Policymaking, the county's role in developmental disabilities panel on Saturday, and meet with self-advocates and family advocates who were advocating again for services and policies that support individuals living with developmental disabilities. And I just want to say, you know, in this budget time, I'm often confronted through email or phone calls or in community with individuals who have one call, which is cut services so we can minimize our property taxes. And I completely am sympathetic to the pressures on individual families who do not want to minimize that, and any family who's opening the envelopes and seeing that and wondering, how am I going to make this work within my budget? But I also want to lift up that the people who are depending on the services that the county facilitates and the county supports is life affirming. It allows them to be active participants in our community and just to be able to live one more day with the supports that they need. And so I was very grateful to have the time to hear from those disability advocates directly and how important it is for us to make sure those supports are in place. And then yesterday at the Ramsey County Community Partner Convening, just iterating that having been in community and seeing a lot of community partners around those tables, to see Ramsey County as an entity present itself as one of many within this larger ecosystem that takes care of our community is a positive step forward. And I heard from a lot of our community members at that space that they welcome future engagements like that to make sure that collectively we are meeting the moment and serving our community. So I appreciate all the staff that put that together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Garrison?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of things I wanted to highlight. Last week I had a chance to speak at Hamlin University to former St. Paul Mayor Jen Schiebel's class, just to speak to the role of county government, what the county does, and to answer a number of the questions from the students who are currently working on a project with a few of the council members in St. Paul in regards to just understanding and analyzing their particular ward. So it was just a great opportunity. Thanks again to Jim for allowing me the opportunity to come and speak to the class. And then last Thursday, I hosted the second of my office's small business collaborative. And so this past one, we hosted it at the North End Rec Center, had a number of small businesses within District 3 who came to this particular meeting. And for this one, we highlighted public works. And so special thank you to Director Isaacson and to Corey Richter for coming to walk through just the process when it comes to construction, things for small businesses to know before, during, and immediately after construction. I thought it was a really great conversation. We got some great takeaways from small business owners on some things that we could possibly be doing different, as well as highlighting some of the great successes in the relationship building that Public Works has been doing as we implement a lot of these different construction projects. So thanks again for all the small businesses who attended. We'll be once again doing these quarterly, just a chance for me to bring in speakers from the county to better understand, for them to better understand different aspects of how the county work and the impacts that it has on their businesses, but also for us to hear from them of how we can be better partners in the work that they're doing. So, and the last thing I'll highlight is last Thursday evening, I had a chance to speak at the St. Anthony Park District Council's annual meeting. Myself and Ward 4 Council member Molly Coleman just gave updates on what the county and the city have been working on. So special thanks to their district council for inviting us out and to give folks a chance to ask us questions as both the city and the county are entering the budget season. So just a great time to kind of answer questions, to clarify things, to hopefully dispel any myths that are out there. So really appreciate the district councils and the work they're doing there. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I will be quick, I promise. So on Monday the 10th, I went to Tarleton High School in Oakdale to learn more about their Open Gate program. So they are the first high school in the state of Minnesota to install metal detectors for all who enter their buildings. It was neat to see it in action, and the students they know what to do. They have it at their middle schools, at their high school, and North St. Paul will also be having them installed later within the next few months. So ISD 622 is really taking charge of student safety, which is ensuring to hear. They are also implementing a Handle with Care program. It's so if like a trauma happens at a student's home, the school is notified and they're able to provide appropriate care as needed, or also able to be a part of their care program. On Veterans Day, I attended the Veterans Day ceremony in North St. Paul, so thank you to VFW Post 1350 and American Legion Post 39 for such a wonderful ceremony that morning. On the 12th, I attended the joint Governor's Workforce Development Board and Minnesota Association Workforce Board meeting, where we reviewed MOB's 2026 legislative priorities. We also approved those, especially for protecting funding for the State Dislocated Workers Program, and discussed updates to the WIOA state plan. The group also adopted a statewide definition of sector partnerships and a new job quality framework to guide future workforce efforts. And then I just want to, since we touched on the Women League of Voters, I just want to say on the 13th, I had the honor to present the Inclusive Employer Champion Award to Innovise on behalf of Ramsey County and the Workforce Innovation Board at the Vadnais Heights Economic Development Corporation annual dinner. So congratulations to Innovise, and with that, meet you.
Thank you. Great event last night at the Active Living. Great to see Jan.
Jan was great. She
Yeah.
loved seeing you.
That was great. I had not spoken with her in quite a while. The other was the landmark. Thank you to the commissioners for attending that. I also attended the Latino Chamber of Commerce event. There were at least 100 Latino businesses there, but more importantly, they now have a seat on the U.S. Latino Chamber of Commerce. So congratulations to them. And then last week, we also, Commissioner Moran, who's at a conference, and I presented before the Capital Investment Committee of the House on River's Edge, and that went very well, according to Jen, who was critiquing us. She does a good job of critiquing us, too. But I'll leave it at that because we are behind schedule. I have not done my job.
We have guests.
5 minutes, and then we get downstairs. We have a workshop that's being Commissioner Jevin Singh. You have the workshop on Safe and Strong Initiatives workshop. And then at 1:30, Commissioner McGuire will have the Transportation Improvement Program. Thank you. We are adjourned.